morning, everyone. My name is Eric Nesheim, and I'm the Executive Director of Literacy Minnesota. And I'd like to welcome you to the 2021 Award Celebration and Journeys Student Reading. By now, we've all accustomed to virtual events. While we wish we could honor our outstanding award recipients and authors in person, we're grateful we still have this way to celebrate with you. We look forward to resuming the celebrations in person sometime down the road. Special thanks to Literacy Minnesota staff members Ellie Purdy and Kelly Rinda, who were instrumental in the actual publishing of Journeys. Thanks to Debbie Cushman, Mariah Waika, Casey Payette, Kirsten Collins, and Kelly Rinda, who made this virtual celebration happen. Also, thank you to donors Mimi and Todd Burke, who helped produce the book through the Burke Family Fund in memory of Todd's late mother. Sincere thanks also to Emily Robbie, Allison Barsh, Maya Garcia Fischer, and Anna Posno, who contributed their time and skills to the planning, design, editing, and production of this book. And of course, I'd like to thank all of you for taking the time to join us virtually to listen to, support, and celebrate award winners and Journeys authors. So on behalf of Literacy Minnesota staff and board of directors, I'd like to welcome all of you. We'll begin by honoring the recipient of our Community Partnership Award, Sumner Library. Sumner Library has hosted a literacy program overseen by Literacy Minnesota for 37 years. Sumner provided space for Literacy Minnesota programming that included ESL, GED, citizenship, computer training, as well as social gatherings and events to celebrate the Northside community. In the time Literacy Minnesota's Open Door program resided at Sumner Library, thousands of learners and volunteers participated in the program. It was unique in that it was the only outside literacy organization the library system had a long-running relationship with and provided space for. Although Open Door Learning Center Northside will be moving to a new location in the summer of 2021, we are indebted to the staff of Sumner Library who, over the many years, were supportive, inclusive, and personally welcoming to the Literacy Minnesota staff, volunteers, and students. Next, our training director, Rob Podlasek, will present the Volunteer Service and Outstanding Volunteers Award. Rob.
I'm happy to be here this morning presenting awards to volunteers who have served an incredible 1,000 or more hours in an adult literacy program in Minnesota. This year's recipients of the Volunteer Service Award are Linda Lewis from Metro North ABE, Ralph Davini from the Hub Center, Yelva Lynfeld from the Hub Center, Todd Grant from Open Door Learning Center, Larry Smith from Open Door Learning Center, and Bryce Purdy, also from the Open Door Learning Center. Thank you for all of your fantastic work and your dedication to learning and literacy. The Outstanding Volunteer Award is given to volunteers who not only dedicate their time and efforts to the many students they work with, but who also enhance their programs as a whole. First, I would like to acknowledge today's honorable mentions in this category. Thank you and congratulations to Alyssa Bolenson from the Hub Center, Steve Gaharin from the Hub Center, Katie McCarthy from the English Learning Center, Marian Angelica from Open Door Learning Center, and Kathy Palmer from Metro North Adult Basic Education. Now please join me in congratulating the following Outstanding Volunteer Award winners. Cinda Kornblum from St. Paul ABE at Hub Center. Cinda has been volunteering with the Hub Center for 12 years. During this time, she has embraced a wide range of volunteer experiences. In the last year, she has made a quick pivot to online tutoring and a jump to working with an academic reading and writing class. One of her nominators said, "With Cinda, I am able to offer a greater number of writing assignments and feedback opportunities to help the students improve their writing skills. I am so grateful for her partnership in the class." One student that Cinda worked with one-on-one successfully defended his thesis at Luther Seminary. Another student is preparing to enter college. We celebrate Cinda's consistency, expertise, and dedication to learning. Our next award winner is Susan Moss from Open Door Lake Street. Susan has been a committed volunteer in weekly citizenship classes for the last 7 years. She works with students one-on-one to help prepare them for the interview. When she works with a new student, she always takes time to get to know them on a personal level. She asks them about their families, work, life in Minnesota, and life history. She talks with them about relaxation techniques before the interview to help them decrease their nervousness. Susan makes students feel comfortable and confident. When students return from class after an interview, they specifically thank Susan for all of her help. While Susan has been a volunteer, 125 students have become citizens. Our next award winner is Kathleen Winters from Metro North Adult Basic Education. Kathleen was on the staff of the Metro North ABE Brooklyn Center site for 9 years as a Level 1 ESL teacher and has become a volunteer at the Brooklyn Center site for 2 years now. It speaks volumes about her commitment to ABE that she immediately began volunteering after resigning from her part-time ESL teacher position. Kathleen cares deeply about the learners and learner-centered instruction. Kathleen predominantly works one-to-one with students to practice reading comprehension, speaking and listening comprehension. Students are enthusiastic about working with Kathleen. One student said, "Kathleen is an excellent volunteer. She has a lot of patience in teaching us." Our final Outstanding Volunteer Award winner this morning is Roger Johnson from Rave ABE. Roger has been a dedicated, innovative volunteer since 2016. He initiated and developed a regular written system of communication regarding learner progress and literacy development, which has been used by each volunteer working with individual students. Roger's communication system has been useful in determining which area each student is struggling with, having success with, and when they have mastered the skills assigned, and when they are ready to move forward. Over time, Roger has effectively sought out experiences assisting every different level of English language learning. He's particularly passionate about working with students with low literacy skills, and his support in Zoom classes has contributed to impressive student reading gains. Roger is a patient, gentle, and encouraging presence both in the in-person and virtual classroom. Congratulations and thank you to all of our volunteers for your dedication to literacy and adult learners. Next, our Literacy Services Director, Kirsten Collins, will present the Outstanding Learner Awards.
The next awards go to our Outstanding Learners and Lucille Fischer Award winners. Again this year, we're happy to be able to award our Outstanding Learner recipients with a $250 Lucille Fischer Award. This award celebrates the memory and work of Lucille Fischer, who was a beloved adult basic education teacher and the first instructional supervisor for the St. Paul Public Schools ABE GED program in 1970. Under Lucy's leadership, St. Paul became the first program in Minnesota to hold a GED graduation ceremony with caps and gowns. Lucy was also a founding member of the former professional organization, the Minnesota Association for Continuing Adult Education. We're grateful to the leadership team of this former professional organization for making these awards possible. Our first winner is Maricela Vilchis from the English Learning Center. Maricela shows remarkable persistence and dedication to her personal and academic goals. When the ELC moved programming online, Maricela was the first person to enroll in the online Level 5 class. She showed patience and grace as the program worked to adapt to online learning. She has inspired staff by finding ways to build community even in the virtual classroom. Maricela, along with a few other students, requested more reading practice, which resulted in a brand new advanced literature class. She stuck with the class all the way through and approached the novel The House on Mango Street by Sandra Cisneros with determination. She put careful consideration into the themes and character arcs and brought valuable insight by relating her childhood in Mexico City to the book. Maricela has faced significant personal obstacles, but teachers can always count on seeing her in their online classes, on time and with a funny story to tell. Congratulations, Maricela. Our next recipient is LeeAnn Ferrian from Lakes Area Adult Education. LeeAnn has been an outstanding GED and adult diploma student since 2017. LeeAnn was one of the first students to embrace virtual learning and helped educators determine what worked best for students throughout the shutdown. She was the program's first student to complete entire curriculum sections using virtual classrooms. She was also willing to encourage and help other students as they acclimated to Zoom and virtual learning. Her nominator, Stacy Lansom, shared, "LeeAnn is one of the most hardworking and dedicated students our program has ever encountered. She endured personal crisis and medical issues, but never gave up on her dream of obtaining her degree. It was amazing watching LeeAnn as she began to believe in herself and her abilities." Our final recipient is Khadija Ali from the English Learning Center. Khadija has been a student at the English Learning Center since 2015 when the pandemic hit. She was one of the first students to take on the challenge of online learning. For several weeks, she was the only person in her class. By leading the way, Khadija helped the English Learning Center effectively build their virtual learning program. She faced many challenges in adjusting to the new COVID world: technology access, low digital literacy, and being a working mother of young children. Despite these barriers, she remained dedicated to attending English class and prioritizing her learning. Congratulations, Khadija. Finally, our volunteer outreach coordinator, Mariah Waika, will announce the Kraemer Memorial Education Grant Fund Award winners.
Thomas M. Kraemer served as the president of Literacy Minnesota, previously Minnesota Literacy Council's Board of Directors, from 1994 until his untimely passing in 1995. In recognition of Tom's leadership and his commitment to lifelong learning, an education grant fund has been established in his memory. The award is intended to assist adult basic education, ABE, learners in their pursuit of further education. The Kraemer Award Committee was impressed by the nominees' stories, and they are delighted to honor Tom's legacy in this way. I would like to thank the Kraemer Committee for their thoughtful consideration and generous support of adult learners in Minnesota. I'm so excited to be here this morning to sing the praises of the fabulous recipients of this award. Our first recipient is Koami Dovon. Koami was nominated by Wendy Karich at Minneapolis Adult Education. When he studied in Wendy's classroom, he learned and applied concepts so quickly that he was soon writing stories for the class to read and assisting with curriculum creation. Wendy shared, "Koami provided us a model of academic excellence, striving to achieve, yet always encouraging and bringing out the best in his classmates too." The next year, as Koami prepared to continue his education at St. Paul College, he returned to our school to volunteer in the writing classes. Koami is a true scholar. He is studying to be a surgical assistant, but really there is no limit to his academic potential or future aspirational career goals. Koami shared that he eventually hopes to complete a bachelor's degree in applied health studies. Our next award recipient is Melanie Swanson. Melanie was nominated by Catherine Chicky at Minneapolis Adult Education. In her recommendation of Melanie, Catherine shared that Melanie is the kind of person who spreads joy and hope wherever she goes, and it is contagious. Despite the many challenges she has experienced throughout her life, her attitude is extremely determined and positive. While in the online classroom, she connects effortlessly with students and helps create community with ease. Over the past 9 years of her GED journey, she has developed many support systems and intentionally surrounded herself with people that support her goals. She has passed 3 of her 4 GED tests. Melanie has the long-term goal of becoming a lawyer. She says, "My passion for helping others is my biggest motivation to be successful in this endeavor. I know how it feels to face adversity. I also know what it means to have the right support when you are at your lowest points. I look forward to every step of this journey." Congratulations to Melanie. Our next recipient is Safiyo Mohamed. Safiyo was nominated by Wendy Karich at Minneapolis Adult Education. Wendy shared, "Safiyo Mohamed came to my writing class in March of 2019. Safiyo, newly arrived in the U.S., came to school, got a job, and got down to business. With incredible perseverance, Safiyo has passed 3 of the GED tests. Safiyo's first experience with formal education was when she was 13, but then her schooling was interrupted by civil war. Nevertheless, Safiyo has always known how important education is and has maintained her studies while working full-time and helping to care for her extended family. Safiyo has plans to go on to college after earning her GED. Her courage, commitment, and compassion will drive her to succeed in whatever field she ultimately chooses. I will also add that Safiyo is a talented writer and has articles published in community newspapers. She currently plans to pursue a career in nursing. Congratulations. Our final recipient of the Kraemer Award is Tomasa Gomez Gutierrez. Tomasa Gomez Gutierrez was nominated by Amy Fish at Lakes Area Adult Education. Amy said, "Tomasa is truly an extraordinary individual. Tomasa graduated from our GED program this year and has been accepted into Minnesota State for fall 2021 classes. Tomasa has remained dedicated to her educational goals, even through the personal tragedy of losing her mother through violence this year. Tomasa exemplifies what it means to be a dedicated student, a supportive and caring family member, and a community-minded individual." And I'd like to share Tomasa's words. Tomasa shared, "My goal to succeed in my education is a great key value factor for me. My dream is to be able to have a voice for those who always think they won't make it, either because of lack of financial support or where they grew up. In losing my beloved mother, I realized how short life can be, and the only way to live it is with absolute confidence and strength. Through this journey, I want to be able to motivate all those who feel doubtful about themselves in achieving their goals with school and college." Congratulations to Tomasa and all of the award recipients.
Congratulations again to all of the award winners. Now, a selection of authors from our 2021 Journeys book will read their pieces aloud for us. The 2021 Journeys book can be pre-ordered online at literacymn.org/journeys. Grab a cup of coffee and enjoy the work of this year's talented authors.
The U.S. Then and Now, Pennsylvania Station, Manhattan, December 1999. I remember the high-energy crowd, the breathtaking skyscrapers. Everything was exactly like in the movies. As a 25-year-old, I spent 1 year living in Princeton, New Jersey with my fiancé. I went back to France convinced that in the United States everything was possible for anyone. That's why 20 years later we came over and settled in Plymouth, Minnesota for at least 3 years with our family. We thought it would be a fantastic adventure. However, here I am 1 year later asking myself, is the atmosphere quite different from the one during my first experience in the US? Does the American dream still exist? Was the American dream ever real? I concede that some issues existed 20 years ago. I was shocked that the poorest part of the big city stood next to the richest one we visited on the East Coast. We didn't have such a huge difference in France. The different communities didn't mix. They lived separated from each other. When I went to the New Jersey state capital, Trenton, I felt stranded being the only white person surrounded by African American people. That was a memorable experience. It was the first time I was aware of what it was to be part of a minority. I didn't think about it before that day. I had a feeling that people were staring at me. I never had this experience in France, even when I used to work in poorer suburbs. President Clinton was impeached because he lied to the public about his personal behavior. That was such a scandal. He denied having an affair with his intern at the White House. In France, infidelity was not a topic that could remove a politician from his office. In the 80s, one of our presidents used to host his mistress and his illegitimate child in the Élysée Palace for years without the public knowing it. Finally, when this situation was revealed by the press, the president couldn't deny it. and the public disapproved. However, nobody asked him to resign because of that scandal. What was private remained private. According to CDC, in 1998, 18% of the US population was obese. There were a lot more fast food chains than in my country, and the chips shelf was bigger. Food was everywhere, on the streets, at malls, at sightseeing places, even on the boat to the Ellis Island Museum. Snacks were easily available all day long. Despite these problems, I had a positive feeling about the American way of life. In September 1999, a Category 4 hurricane named Floyd struck Florida and moved north along the East Coast, producing major rainfall. It was responsible for 74 fatalities and $6.5 billion in damage. Immediately after this disaster, I watched the news on TV that showed Floyd victims trying to save what was left of their houses. The journalist asked them their thoughts about the future. They didn't complain, they simply replied, "We will rebuild our homes." Coming from a country where people always asked some help from the government when they experienced hardships, his reaction was incredibly striking. I was impressed by the resilience of the American people.
Hi, my name is Edgar, and I want to tell you the best story in America. My best friend in America. I never thought that my best friend would be an American. Let me describe him to you and see what your thoughts. His name is Connor. He became my roommate on Thanksgiving Day 2018. The first day that I met Connor, we had to ride together, and he wasn't quiet at all the way home. He had a lot to say. He's tall, strong, young, blonde, brown eyes, long hair. Connor has blonde eyelashes, and he's very fast. Connor was rude to everyone that came to visit the house. Over time, he learned to be kind and polite. Connor went to school in 2019 to learn to be kind and patient. Now he smiles. Even though he's an adult, Connor still likes to play with toys and balls. He's really good at hunting mice. He likes to be up very early every morning before the coffee starts. He likes to take hikes and going for a swimming in the summertime in the afternoon. Connor used to sleep under the bed, but now he sleeps in the bed. Now Connor knows when to speak and when to be quiet. He learned to share his space with others. Connor didn't like to shower, but now he learns to accept that that has to be done if he wants to live in the same house with me, especially after rolling and stinky stuff. If you give him a couple of treats, he will sit, lay down, roll, speak, or shake. His best friend is a Chihuahua. He learned not to bite people, actually. He has a certificate for Star Puppy from the American Kennel Club. My best friend is a 4-year-old German Shepherd, Chow Chow, and Golden Retriever mix. He came from the Humane Society. If you ever consider finding a good American friend, the Humane Society is a good place to look. If you consider having a pet, maybe consider a rescued one. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sonita Jo. I wrote this story in Karen class, How I Met My Husband. So here is the story. The title is How I Met My Husband. In late September of 2006, my aunt who was living in America called me. She said she had a friend who was curious about a picture he had seen of me. He wanted to talk to me and get to know me. Back then, my English was not very good. I could barely speak or a word of it. I could write in English, but I couldn't speak. My cousin told him about this, but he still wanted to talk to me. So we wrote letters to each other every day. About 2 weeks, he began to call every day just to hear my voice. Even thought he had a hard time understand what I was saying. 2 months later, he asked me to be his girlfriend. I told him that in my country, we could not be boyfriend, girlfriend. If you love me, you have to marry me. He said, okay, and he came to Cambodia in December of 2006. He came to Cambodia alone, and we were married on December 30 and 31st. In my country, our tradition is to have 1.5 day married. My family and I was very happy with the wedding day. We have over 300 guests join in our happy day. 2 days later, my husband and I visited a couple of different places for our honeymoon. On the first day, we traveled to Kampong Sam beach. It is beautiful white sand beach. At night, we walked along the beach. At the bar, music was playing with lights all around the beach. Then we went to Angkor Wat and saw the old temple. We also rode a hot air balloon and visited my cousin. My cousin took us to see some old temple. Each temple was located in different places. Angkor Wat was a wonderful place. All the design was incredible. There is a small park in front of Angkor Wat that filled with lily pad. In the evening, when the sun set, it set right over the top of the temple, and the shadow fall across the park. It's so amazing. Our honeymoon came to an end when my husband had to return to America. It took 11 months to do all my paperwork. I finally got an interview with the United States Embassy in the middle of December. I passed on the first try on December 3rd, 2007. I left Cambodia to America. I arrived in Nista on December 24. It was the most beautiful place I ever seen. The next day was Christmas Day, and there was snow on the road and the tree was white. My husband's family came to dinner at our house on Christmas Day. Everyone was happy and enjoyed the meal we ate together. I am so happy to have a new life in Israel. This country has given me a new life. This country has given me the freedom to speak that I didn't have in Cambodia. My life is so wonderful here. Before the pandemic, I have a good job, and hopefully I will be able to return to it and still go to school to continue learning English at no cost. My neighborhood is safe. It is so safe that I can walk around and live things outside my house and have no worry. Now I have a 9-year-old son, and he go everywhere we go. In addition, my life is great since I came here, as I have been traveled to many countries, such as Mexico, Central America, Belize, and the Caribbean. I am so content, and I am looking forward to many great things to come. After the pandemic is over, me and my family will continue to travel to more countries. Someday I will reach my dream to visit places all around the world. So here is my story. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Be kind at all times by Mohamed. Value yourself. If you wanted to know the value of compassion, see your heart, how it is filled, the suffering of others. The answer belongs to you when find your self-worth. Time is of the essence. The past will never return. Spend your time doing important and worthwhile things.
My name is Mona. I was born in the Mela refugee camp in Thailand. My parents are from Burma. I have 2 sisters and 4 brothers. When I was 6 years old, I started primary school. I continued to go to school until grade 11 at the Mr. High School. I did not graduate. All but one brother is still in Thailand. My brother came to the US after I did. I came here in the September 2015. I was so happy when I saw snow for the first time. I like swimming and fishing in the summer. I studied at ESS school for 3 months before I got a full-time job at Bailey Nursery in March 2016. I did plenty pulling weeds, growing plants, cutting plants, etc. Many people worked there, so I had friends from many places, such as Korean, White, Black, Hmong, Mexican, and Somalia. They were my lovely friends, so I was happy to go to work. I learned a little Spanish from them. In July 2019, I had to quit this job because I had a new baby and I had to take care of my children. In September 2018, I started attending school at the health center. Before COVID-19, I went to school and after school I went to work. I had a class in the afternoon and a part-time job in the evening. During COVID-19, I got laid off from this job and I needed to start online classes. I really like online classes because I want to improve my English and get a diploma. I have a dream that one day I will become an engineer or a barber. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Rong Yunran. I am Chinese. Today I want to talk about some Chinese culture. Chinese culture has its own unique characteristics. Among its many traditions, we can find special Chinese New Year celebrations, exceptional food, and a conservative concept of marriage. Chinese New Year happens every spring and marks the end of winter and the beginning of spring. It is celebrated for 16 days, which starts from Chinese New Year's Eve to the Lantern Festival. To welcome the New Year, people decorate their houses with red lanterns, red carpets, paper cutouts, and New Year's paintings. They think these decorations can keep evil away and pray for blessing, longevity, and health. On New Year's Eve, people make a sumptuous dinner for all family members reuniting to enjoy food and time together. After dinner, parents usually give their children lucky money, which is in red envelopes, to wish them health, growth, and good studies in the coming year. At midnight, every family lights very bright and colorful fireworks. On the first day of the new year, people wear new clothes and wish Happy New Year to everyone they meet. Chinese cuisine focuses on color, smell, and taste of food. Most chefs pay attention to the ingredients used in seasoning, knife work, and cooking time. For example, Buddha jumps over the wall is a well-known Chinese dish all over the world because of its delicious taste and special manner of cooking. The cooking process for this superb soup is complicated and contains more than 30 ingredients, such as shark fin, abalone, tendons, chicken, tripe, ham, gizzards, sea cucumber, pigeon eggs, mushrooms, scallops, bamboo shoots, and so on. It requires 2 or 3 days to prepare. Different ingredients are cooked for separate times. They are layered in a clay jar with soup and wine, which is placed on the fire to cook for a couple hours to be ready. Chinese people are very serious about their marriage. They are still very traditional and have a low divorce rate. Some of them think they can only marry once in their whole life. To have sex or have a baby before a marriage is not acceptable, especially in rural areas. This may still be discussed behind the scenes. Chinese couples usually marry people who have similar social status and economic standing. They marry not only for love, but also for their families. Marriage is under the control of family elders and is considered an important part of a family's success. Chinese remain faithful to their marriage. China has different traditional cultures which have their own way to celebrate the new year, enjoying unique food and live a conservative married life. Thank you.
A little help can go far. By Colette Temple. The person who impacted me the most in my life beside my parents was Madame Atolo, one of the best people in the world. She was my neighbor who lived beside my parents' house in Africa. She lived with her husband and 2 boys. I met Madame Atolo for the first time when I was in the 3rd grade, when they moved to the house near mine. She always wanted to be a friend of mine, and she was very friendly toward me. Oftentimes, she will invite me to her house, and a lot of time I will help her clean. At the end of the day, she will give me some money so I could get lunch for the day. I love going to her house, and I love helping her. She didn't have any daughter, and she wished she had one. I think she thought of me as a daughter to her. The following year, I moved on to 4th grade, and once I got done with that, I moved on to 5th grade. After 2 months, I was sent home to get the tuition for the school, which was $30. My parents didn't have the money, so I dropped out of school and started helping my mother with her daily activity. At first, my mom didn't want me to leave the house during the school time because she felt uncomfortable. But unfortunately, I was doing most of the work with her. Then one day, Madame Atolo saw me outside running in for my mom, and she asked, "Why aren't you going to school anymore? Did they let you out today?" I told her no, that I wasn't going to school because my family couldn't afford the tuition. She nodded and went home, and I continued helping my mom out for the rest of the day. The next day, I woke up ready to start helping my mom again when someone came to our door. It was Madame Atolo. When I opened the door, she greeted me and asked me for my mom. When my mom came out, she handed her some money. When my mom asked her what it was for, Madame Atolo told her that I could go back to school. I thanked Madame Atolo, and my mom and I got dressed to go to school. When we went to the school and I paid the tuition, I was allowed back into class. That day changed my life, and I was able to receive an education because of her kind action. From that day, I learned that no matter who you are or where you're from, there will be someone willing to help you out.
Hello everyone, my name is Kathleen. I came from Cambodia. My topic talk about Cambodian New Year. The biggest celebration in Cambodia is New Year. Usually the New Year's is in April and it lasts for 3 days. People return to their parents' or grandparents' house. Before the New Year, people clean their houses. When we arrive at my grandparents' house, we have lunch together of smoked fish with green tamarind sauce, rice, cucumbers, and laras and bamboo soup. After we eat, we relax and enjoy each other's company. The first day of the Khmer New Year is called Moha Samkran. The people make an altar with candles, flowers, fruit, and lights in front of the house. They believe that the New Year angel will come to take nourishment from the altar, and she will bless the people of the house. On the first day, we wake up and prepare the fruit on the altar for the new angel of the New Year. Sometimes during the day, we watch TV to see the new angel of the old years transfer her position to the new angel of the year. Then we light the candles and incense to welcome the new angel and pray for health, happiness, and wealth. The second day is called Virya Banabat. People spend time with their families and enjoy eating together. The third day, Virya Langsat, is the day of honoring tradition. In the morning, my grandma always brings food to the temple for the monks and our ancestors. We give the statue of Buddha above. When we return to the house, we bathe my grandparents, wishing them a long life, good health, and ask them for forgiveness for anything we might have done for offend them. All 3 nights, we play tradition games and dance. Usually we play and dance in open space, in the middle of the temple, and sometimes on the street. We have a lot of different kinds of dancing, such as a circle dance, a line dance, and couple dancing. Vendors sell food and drink for the revelers. Some people, like my uncles, stay home and have alcohol and play cards. Khmer New Year's Day is a wonderful time for Cambodians. It shows our tradition and culture for the next generation. After a whole year of being busy with our jobs and school, it is a nice time for gathering with family and relatives, relaxing and enjoying the happy moments on New Year's Day.
Thank you all for being with us this morning. We appreciate you choosing to join us and celebrate the stories, hard work, and accomplishments of learners and volunteers. Once again, the 2021 Journeys book can be pre-ordered online at literacymn.org/journeys. Have a wonderful Friday.